So for the last few years, I've been really deeply studying online marketing psychology. One of the challenges that I had, and I'm sure everybody has this at some point in their career, was trying to figure out what's going on in the customer's mind when they come to my landing pages. So I want to show you some of the things that I learned. I'll tell you where I learned them, and I'll show you examples, real world examples of these things working. So you can actually apply it to your own business, and naturally, even if you don't have a business, this stuff works offline in all kinds of places. So pay attention, this is some really powerful stuff. So the first thing I want to show you is, why do people buy what they do? And while there's a number of emotions and a number of psychological triggers that people automatically buy based on, I'm going to show you the top ones, and then I'm going to show you a whole bunch of smaller ones at the very end. So I think you'll like this. So we're going to dive into the know, like, trust thing, authority, consistency, social proof, reciprocity, and scarcity. So I think, in my opinion, these things have to happen in a certain order. Each one of these emotions, or each one of these psychology strategies, works in a certain series. For example, I don't really think that scarcity would really work on the front end without first having some kind of a know, like, trust. So anyway, let's dive into those in order so you can see how that one builds on the other, and hopefully you can get some great ideas for your business, and we'll go from there. So the first one is reciprocity. So here we have a landing page, for example, actually showing giving away 7 free days, a 7-day trial with up to 140 free downloads of motion backgrounds, stock footage, and imagery. Now, anytime that someone has consistently given you something, maybe you're at a store and they constantly give you these free things, maybe you sign up for somebody's newsletter and they constantly give you these, a series of three free videos, and each one of them is actually exactly what you've always wanted. Or maybe it's that realtor that constantly takes you out for lunch every once in a while. One day you're going to need to buy a house, and who's that first person you're going to think of is that guy who consistently gave you free stuff. So it's not designed to do anything more than build a little bit of trust, because naturally with the reciprocity, people want to reciprocate. People want to give back to those who give to them. Anybody who's, any store they go to that's constantly giving them great deals or free things, it's really difficult to not want to return that favor. So the next one is social proof. Social proof is that basically you drive into a small town in the middle of the night and you see a restaurant with 2 cars and you see a restaurant with 18 cars. Naturally you think to yourself, okay, well, that restaurant, or the people in that town, I should say, must know something that you don't know. So naturally they're going, you think to yourself, well, obviously everybody knows something you don't, and I'll go to that restaurant. So the point is that, and you're looking at this website right here, over 250,000 customers trust this platform. So anytime there's ways that you can show, literally with testimonials, with X amount of thousands of fans or Twitter followers, or those kind of things that show lots and lots and lots of people trust this. Anyways, so that's one of those social triggers where people feel consistently that if a crowd is doing something, it must be the right thing. Now, authority can be shown in a number of ways. It's one of the reasons that when I try and do presentations, I try to dress incredibly well. People perceive authority from the trust logos, the Norton Secured logos, other incredibly large companies supporting a certain product or service. All of those different things, endorsements from CNN. There's all kinds of different ways to show authority. But when people perceive authority, they automatically want to do whatever the authority says. Same thing with the social proof thing. People want to do things that everybody else is doing. Same thing with the reciprocity. People want to do stuff with people who consistently give them so they can give back. So you can see each one of these things will create something that somebody would want to do. Consistency. So every time a consumer indicates that they trust or they believe in something, for example, Tom's Shoes, their website says, I love companies that give back. Every person that clicks I agree then gets offered the newsletter, and says, okay, well then sign up to our newsletter. So people people will consistently do whatever they've agreed to do. So if you say to somebody, do you agree to this statement? And it's a statement, are you tired of making your boss rich? Yes. Okay, well, this product or service will give you something for free. Okay, yes. And kind of keeping through that flow. So, know, like, trust. So, it's an age old thing. Dale Carnegie, I think, penned it first, the idea of, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. Anytime you can either A, use the social proof, like you can see below with the 1.4 million fans, 55,000 followers. Anytime you can get video in front of people and be genuinely likable, kind, act like you really care about the customer. I mean, I'm sure you certainly do, but that's the whole idea of the know, like, trust. And last thing is scarcity. So the whole idea is that if you found that over the last few months this company had been giving you great stuff, over the last few months you felt that everybody else was going to that company as well, and they were in consistency with your belief systems and everything, and they were an authoritative business that had a lot of recommendations and really fit the profile, looked credible, and all of these things. And the last thing was that they only had a few of that particular item left, or the promotion, ends at midnight. And remember, everybody else is, tending to buy the exact same thing. It seems to be the best one. They've, given you incredible value already. All of these things play together to make it virtually impossible for you to say no. Now, scarcity is incredibly powerful because, as human beings, the very reason that we put so much value on Porsches over Chevy Cavaliers is because there's only a handful of them. It's not just the price tag. In fact, the reason that a potato chip that looks like Elvis goes for $10,000 on eBay is because it's rare. So, scarcity is when you make an offer rare, and of course, rareness and value create urgency. So, last thing is that there are all these different psychological triggers and strategies that play into this, right? So, basically, there's all these different ways that you can make people want to do what you want them to do. So everybody has this desire to belong. They have this desire to want to find things that are familiar. They have this sense of wanting to be involved in things. So anytime you create, comment boxes or like buttons or check boxes, they want to participate. They're curious, so if you give them the chance to explore, they have this desire to collect. So if you have a series of downloadable MP3s, that helps. They're always looking for hope. So if there's any way that you can create hope in your marketing, that helps too. Micro commitments, where you have these small yeses that lead to a final larger yes. And lastly, storytelling, which is that whole desire to be around a campfire and to be taken on a mental journey somewhere with something. So all of these strategies, which I'm not expanding deep on right now, can all play into your online marketing. So if you have any desire to hear more psychological strategies, or to get more of my material, please visit www.maximumopenrates.com/members. I think we've got a free video there right now, and there will always be some kind of a freebie there to join our list and get our emails. Thank you.